As the Na'vi say during this important rite of passage, Siva Ko, rise to the challenge.
But if you don't want to Siva Ko and rise to the challenge of sitting through the original 2-hour and 41-minute Avatar film, that is okay. That is what we're here for. Avatar, The Way of Water, is finally here, and it is 2022, not 2014 or 15 or 16 or 17, 18, 20 or 21. So if you're excited to see it, let me ask you this. Did you see Avatar 1? Better yet, do you remember anything at all from Avatar 1 since it came out a staggering 13 years ago? Luckily, it doesn't matter because we have this recap of the legendary first movie so that you don't have to sit through the 161 minutes of the original. First things first, we'll walk you through the entire story of the first movie, so there will be spoilers. This is your spoiler warning. Sound the spoiler alarm. It's like the lunk alarm at Planet Fitness. Our movie starts in the year 2154. So in our world, Avatar 5 will have just come out. We're introduced to our leading man. Anyone remember his name? Anyone at all? No, you? No, raise hand, no? Okay, his name is Jake Sully. A very simple name, honestly sounds fake. Kind of sounds like it was a fill-in name and they forgot to change it. Anyway, Jake is a military man. His scientist, much smarter than him brother, unfortunately died in a mugging of some sort. Jake confirms it's him to some SAG day players, and his brother is burned away just like that. They ask him to fill in for a job that his brother was supposed to do, and Jake says sure, because it pays the big bucks. Jake and everyone else is on a spaceship headed to Pandora, the wondrous world that only many dreamt of going to, and now you can visit too by heading down to Walt Disney World. It features the greatest ride ever. Anyway, Pandora is filled with floating mountains, mysterious creatures, and delicious fruit. Once we land, we realize that, surprise, Jake is in a wheelchair. Didn't see that coming. He makes his way past military on the planet who rudely make fun of him for just no reason.
So check this out, man. Meals on wheels.
Not nice. Now at this point, we get a few glimpses of the, for 2009, very impressive CGI. This ain't no Roger Rabbit. The blend between real and computer generated is remarkable for over a decade ago. Next up, we're introduced to Quaritch, who without a shadow of a doubt will be our villain. Just look at him. Looks like it's physically impossible for him to be good. Anyway, he's there with the military, but we don't know why yet. Jake then meets Norm, the guy from Dodgeball, who's an Avatar pilot. Wait, what's an Avatar, you say? Well, an Avatar is a Na'vi-human hybrid. Wait, you know what? Let's back up. The Na'vi are the inhabitants of Pandora. They stand 10 feet tall, are blue, and simply adore their home. Anyway, the Avatar program allows humans to essentially climb into a machine called a link chamber, take a deep snooze, and then pilot a hybrid version of a Na'vi titled Avatar. The head of the entire Avatar program is Dr. Grace Augustine. She's mean to Jake at first because he's not his dead brother.
Yeah. I know who you are, and I don't need you. I need your brother. You know, the PhD who trained for 3 years for this mission.
He's dead. I know it's a big inconvenience for everyone.
Jake and Norm hop into their Avatar bodies for the first time, and Jake is loving this test run because he can run. We also see Dr. Grace in Avatar form as well, and that is important. Why are we here? Why Pandora? Well, turns out there's a very special mineral on Pandora called vibranium, or unobtainium. Yeah, that's actually what it's called. I guess it's another name they forgot to cut, I guess. Unobtainium is very valuable, and the big bad humans want it for their own, so they are mining it on Pandora. Well, the military's helping them mine it. Not the science team, though. The science team is the good guys. After his first test run, Jake meets with Michelle Rodriguez, who's a pilot. I forgot her name in the movie. He also meets with Quaritch, who tells him he's not a fan of this Avatar program, but he likes that Jake, a military man, will be working as one of the Avatars, so now he can gain knowledge on how the Na'vi operate from the inside. So he wants Jake to report everything he learns back to him. At first, Jake is like, hell yeah. Quaritch says, I'll get you your legs back when you go back home to Earth, and all is well. Except that CGI that I said was good before, because in this scene, the Avatar squad heads out into the forest for the first time, and idiot Jake gets attacked by a panther-looking creature after calling a bull-looking thing a bad word.
Oh yeah, who's bad? That's right. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about,
Dr. Grace and Norm manage to get away safely, but Jake and this panther-looking thing battle it out in the jungle. Now we're back to spectacular CGI for this chase scene. Seriously, this thing is unbelievable. You should watch it. After escaping, we finally meet our first real Na'vi. Hooray! Neytiri is her name. She's about to shoot Jake before this flying jellyfish thing lands on her arrow to signify that the planet thinks shooting Jake is a bad idea. She then decides to go a full 180 and save him from a pack of Pandora coyotes, the same scary little dogs that you can see on the Avatar boat ride at Dak. CGI, really good here. I'm actually blown away at this point. We're also introduced to Pandora at night, which is bioluminescent. Ugh. Another surprise is in store. Neytiri speaks English. She tells Jake she's sad she had to kill those coyote dog things. She's trying to get away from him when, wait, oh, here come the magical jellyfish again. They land on him this time and get Gamora, or Neytiri, to change her mind about Jake. She brings him to her clan, and there's more bioluminescence. We love bioluminescence. While Neytiri likes Jake, the Na'vi don't, because he's a sky demon. They see right through that fake Avatar body. Neytiri introduces Jake to her dad, the big boss man of the Na'vi. You could tell because he's wearing this cool outfit.
It's nice to meet you, sir.
He doesn't want Jake the Dreamwalker here in their home, which is under a big old tree that sits on top of unobtainium. Neytiri's mom comes down and tells her that she's going to be responsible for teaching Jake the way of the Na'vi. Neytiri is not happy about it. At least, she acts like she's not happy about it. Am I right? Eventually, Dr. Grace wakes up Jake in his link chamber. She's thrilled because he's inside the Na'vi clan. She thinks he's just going to innocently learn about their ways. But Big Bad Quaritch ain't innocent, and he's also thrilled. Jake said he'll give him the rundown on the whole situation. Quaritch says he's just gonna bulldoze the darn tree and ruin their home to grab that unobtainium. Jake says, let's hold up. Now, while this is all going down, a scientist from the good science team overhears Jake giving the mining company and the military the info about the Na'vi, and Dr. Gray says, no, we don't like that. We're gonna move our entire science lab into the jungle so that Jake can't speak to Big Bad Quaritch so easily. Back in the Avatar world, Neytiri and Jake have a funny relationship where she's teaching him how to swing, ride animals, speak the language. You can tell where this is going. Jake details how the Na'vi's lives revolve around their relationship with the forest and its network of energy that flows through all things. Does that sound familiar?
We'll use the Force. That's not how the Force works.
Back in the Avatar world, we meet the Ikran, or the Banshees, the iconic flying creatures of the franchise. Jake must match with one, and only one Ikran, by connecting to its soul, hopping on it and touching his hair to part of its head. Simple enough. After a tussle with an Ikran, Jake does it. Jake and Neytiri's bond is growing stronger at this point, which pisses off the Na'vi dude she was scheduled to mate with named Susei. He ain't happy about this. It's now been 3 months since Jake started the Avatar program, and you guessed it, he's now leaning towards Team Science and having second thoughts about helping Quaritch and the military who want to bulldoze the Tree of Souls to get their special stuff. The Na'vi hold a ceremony for Avatar Jake, and he's fully accepted as part of the people. It's like a graduation of some sort. Dr. Grace is crying happy tears, and all the Na'vi hold hands. The best music and prettiest scene are next when Neytiri and Jake run through the bioluminescence in celebration of the induction ceremony. Neytiri is head over heels for this guy because she's bringing him to all the secret spots, and it's only been like 3 months. She brings him to this praying tree that means a lot to her ancestors. Jake connects to the tree with his hair and can hear the voices of the Na'vi past. Very cool. Jake and Neytiri then share their first Avatar kiss. Seems like actually it was a little more than a kiss. In fact, they all of a sudden choose to be life partners. Wow. That escalated quickly. And next thing you know, here come the bulldozers running over the sacred place after Neytiri just committed to Jake like that. The miners are running over everything sacred without a care in the world. While doing so, Jake tries to fight off a bulldozer by breaking its camera. Quaritch says, hold up, rewind. That guy looks familiar. He sees that it's Jake. He ain't happy.
Unbelievable.
Get me a pilot.
Meanwhile, the Na'vi find out about Jake and Neytiri's big night together, and they are not happy as well. Jake gives a speech to try to win them over, but in the nearby lab, where Jake's human body is in the link chamber, Quaritch shows up and powers everything down.
You out of your goddamn mind? You crossed the line.
Quaritch clocks human Jake right in the face and brings him and Dr. Grace back to the military headquarters. Quaritch convinces Parker, the head of the mining initiative, that it's time to bulldoze the big tree. Enough is enough. Who cares about these darn alien Na'vi things? Jake convinces Parker, all right, let me go in one more time. Let me go in one more time and try to get them to move, please. Parker lets him. Jake pleads with the Na'vi, but they're pissed off that Jake was holding secrets all this time. Neytiri is particularly upset.
I trusted you!
Trust me now, please.
You will never be one of the people! Try to stop her!
In comes Quaritch, and he and the military open fire on Home Tree, where the Na'vi live. They blow up the entire base and Na'vi home, causing the massive tree to fall over. The attack kills Neytiri's father. Remember him, the chief guy? Yeah, very sad. Jake and Dr. Grace are awoken from their avatar bodies again and taken into custody. But it isn't long until Michelle Rodriguez, forgot her name again, breaks them out. Remember her? She had a Finn Stormtrooper moment and decided she didn't want to be a bad guy despite spending her entire life working up until this point, and then just decided to change her mind, I guess. I don't know how that works. Quaritch catches them trying to escape in a chopper and shoots Dr. Grace in the process. Michelle Rodriguez drops them off in a lab and then moves the lab so that they can't be found, all while Dr. Grace is holding on for dear life inside. Jake quickly checks into his avatar body to try to get help from the Na'vi for Dr. Grace and also try to mend things with Neytiri, you know, his new wife, I guess, after he was partially responsible for the destruction of her home. He decides in order to woo her and her family, he's going to ditch his basic Ikron that he matched with, poor Ikron, and try to take control of
Toruk Makto.
the most legendary Ikron Banshee there ever was. You can tell he's different because he's red. Jake successfully takes control of him because of course he does. He becomes only the 6th Na'vi ever to do so. Impressive. The move works as the Na'vi treat him like the Beatles once he lands. What? Now look, I love the movie. I really do. Rewatching it made me like it even more. But the quick forgiveness from the Na'vi after their home was just destroyed, just because Jake showed that he was special by taking control of this legendary Banshee Ikron, it's a little suspect, a little sus. Now that they like him again, including Susei, the former Neytiri love interest, which makes no sense, they agree to help Dr. Grace. Jake carries human Grace into the Tree of Souls, where they try to heal her with the power of nature. Of course it works. Oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. She dies. Dr. Grace dead. Now Jake is pissed off. He does his best Herb Brooks impersonation and gives a pre-game speech about fighting against the military. Let's go kill all the humans. He then prays to the Holy Tree and asks for help in its battle. We're on to the big finale. The Na'vi and the Ikron Banshee Dragon things led by Jake against Quaritch and the military of the world. It's a big old battle. Neytiri loses her Ikron. Michelle Rodriguez dies. Susei dies. It's all pretty sad, honestly. The military is winning until all the animals of Pandora band together and help save the planet from those damn humans. The final battle features Quaritch in the mech suit we saw earlier. He and Jake battle it out in an old school forest fight in the middle of the jungle. Quaritch is about to kill Jake when Neytiri saves the day with not 1, but 2 arrows to the chest. Avatar Jake, though, is unresponsive. He is going to die, and human Jake is about to die from being exposed to the Pandora air without a mask. By the way, you needed a mask. But Neytiri finds him after she hears human Jake struggling nearby. She saves him, and the two meet in their true forms for the first time. Hooray!
I see you.
The humans head back to Earth because Pandora overpowered the entire world's military, I guess. The Na'vi hold a ceremony and permanently transfer Jake from his human body to his avatar body, meaning his human body is now dead. And that is how the movie ends. Does any of that sound familiar? Sure wouldn't have to me, I'll be honest. If I didn't just watch it, I'd be clueless. So now you can head to Avatar 2 and have a bit more of a clue about what's going on. I'll see you in 2 or 20 years when Avatar 3 is set to come out for the next recap. I've been your host, Brian, for all things Disney parks. Keep it here. Until next time.
Bye-bye.